Yeah, yeah, it wasn't where it usually was. I had to hunt for it. So I'm going to apologize. I'm down the tag end of a cold, so I sound like I'm talking with my head in a bucket.
Well, thanks for hosting,
Of course.
nevertheless.
Hello, Cece.
Hi.
Hi, Stacey.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Turn my phone off.
Cece, do you have my notes?
Yes, I do.
That's great. There are 6 paragraphs, right?
Yes, there are 6 paragraphs. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yes, yes,
Each
paragraphs.
one corresponds to a page in the book. For example, point number 1 is at page 116
Yes, it is.
and so forth. So we can work off the book and or off my study guide.
All right. I'm gonna go on mute and and off video for about 5 minutes because I need to swap out the laundry real quick.
That's appropriate. Okay, let's do ourselves a favor and remind ourselves that we can always do some inhalation and exhalation, some breathing and some retention by ourselves. My best time is in the morning when I'm lying flat on my back. When's a good time for you, Janae?
Um, Usually in the evening, actually, but I try to do it periodically throughout the day when I think of it.
Whenever it comes to mind, that's good. Cece, do you have a moment that the breathing comes to you?
Yeah, I usually do first thing in the morning and then occasionally in preparation for seeing my patients, and then other times at night before I go to bed.
I think this little back and forth between us and among us is a good reminder that the simplest thing I can do is locate myself with them, my own breath. So let's practice that. Find an easy sit, grounded in Mother Earth, rising up to the creative powers, rising up to the solar plexus, with which I give messages to my whole body, rising to my heart, the anahata, the unstruck, rising to the throat, rising to the third eye, rising to the seventh and master chakra, hands up, fold the wings, exhale, retain, hands up, open the wings, inhale, retain, hands together, exhale, close the wings, retain, lean back, inhale, retain, lean forward, exhale, retain. Couple, three more at your own speed. Lean back. Inhale. Retain. Lean forward. Exhale. Retain. Last one. Inhale. Lean back. Retain. Exhale. Lean forward. Retain. The name of this chapter, number 4, is Wisdom in Action. Wisdom in Action. Now, does that sound like a flow between two yoga skills, or does it sound like a contradiction? Is there a common ground?
In
Or are they,
between wisdom and action, is that the question?
say again, please?
Are you asking, is there a common ground between wisdom and action?
I'm wondering if there is a common ground, if they become the same thing, or if they're separate. Wisdom requires no activity. Action requires activity. In an earlier chapter, Arjuna asks Krishna, which shall I use, action or wisdom? There's an answer to that. It turns out to be both. But let's go to my notes and read paragraph 1. Janae, could you read paragraph 1 to us?
Yeah. Arjuna asks the question, Arjuna, why do you say that you have taught yoga from the beginning? Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. I think it's supposed to be Krishna. Krishna, why do you say that you have taught yoga from the beginning? Answer from Krishna. Arjuna, you and I have passed through many births. You have forgotten them, but I remember them all.
Now, anyone, what's the drift of that answer? Have we known yoga for our entire lives, or have we forgotten it?
I think it's possible that Arjuna has forgotten it because he doesn't know or accept that he's been born many times. He's a very practical person.
And why does Krishna argue that he has known yoga for all time?
Because he has passed through many lives. He is eons old.
Are we in an era in the human condition where we have forgotten the foundation of yoga? Is the foundation of yoga returning to us by virtue of books such as the BGita? When we hear the story between Krishna and Arjuna, and for the whole rest of the chapter, if you look at points number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, in a way, it's a process of Arjuna remembering yoga. Are you and I in the process of having forgotten yoga? Are we remembering it?
I think that it's, I think when you teach yoga, you can get caught up too much in the physical asana part of it. when you plan a class, you tend not to delve into some of these texts and make it relevant. Because the majority of my students, they prefer to move rather than to listen to storytelling. So in a way, coming back to these texts and these philosophies kind of regrounds you. So I think that some people forget. I know that I certainly do sometimes, and these texts kind of bring me back to kind of what the true meaning of yoga is, and it's not necessarily the practice of movement. Excuse me.
How do these two themes, firstly, knowledge, and secondly, action, actually serve each other?
Well, action should be driven by knowledge and
Is
wisdom.
there such a thing as completely separate action, separate
No.
from knowledge? Is there such a thing as completely separate knowledge, separate from action? Or are they blended?
Well, they should be blended, but I think that we all know that sometimes action takes place without little thought behind the consequences.
Yeah.
So
I think
there's
of
reaction,
that.
right?
I think of that wisdom, like, because you think of like a baby, and a baby is like kind of like all action, I guess. And they're moving and doing things, but they don't yet have wisdom. Um, but then as we get older, a part of that growth and maturity is being able to act from wisdom, I guess, being able to slow down and think about it.
Janae, you mentioned that there's a tendency on the part of your students to skip over the wisdom part and to go straight to the asanas.
Yeah.
What is the danger of that, and what's a remedy for that mistake?
Well, I always try to start my classes with breath work, even if it's just a few minutes of just sitting and coming to your breath and feeling yourself grounded on your mat, whether you're sitting or on your feet. And I also, excuse me, I also try to always come back to a foundation during my classes. So whether you're sitting or whether you're in mountain pose, because that gives that little pause to think, okay, where am I? Where is my mind? Is your mind scattered? Are you making a shopping list while you're doing your yoga? But then, there are people, particularly in the cohort that I teach, that the movement part is very important. They're recovering from surgeries or radiation or something, and the movement part of it and the community part is very important. So I think people meet yoga where they need to meet it. If that makes any sense.
Farther down in our paragraphs, I believe it's around paragraph 3 and 4, it's going to list various styles of offering. Which paragraph, is it paragraph 3 or 4 that mentions 5 different offerings?
It's 4.
We'll get to that. Kate, could you please read paragraph 2? And do me a favor, do us all a favor, read it very slow and don't hesitate to repeat because these are like gold. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Paragraph 2, page 117. Krishna continues, my true being is unborn. I live in every creature. Those who know me as their own divine self break through the faulty belief that they are merely the body. I deliver them from selfish attachments. They live in the fire of my being. All paths lead to me. The distinctions of caste, varna, guna 281, and karma come from me, but I myself am changeless.
Thank you for that very nice, slow, deliberate read. Now, Kate, put your eyes on the paragraph and discern the sentence or phrase that's most helpful to you at the moment. Just put your eyes on the paragraph and read any sentence. So what we've done is we've come to the Gita of 18 chapters, then to chapter 4, then to one page, then to one paragraph, and finally we've isolated to one main point. What main point strikes your eyes in number
Yeah.
2?
My true being is unborn.
And why is that an important claim?
Because then I feel like my true being can't go away.
And now read your sentence again, please.
My true being is unborn.
Now reverse that. That's a positive sentence. Turn it into a faulty sentence. My true being.
My true being will never be born,
That's the same
will never
point.
die.
That's the same point. Reverse the point.
Reverse
Negative
the point.
point.
My true being, it is not my true being to be born. To be born is not my true being. Am I doing it wrong?
No, it's tricky, but then it shows my true.
Okay. My true being is born. I am born. My true being is born. That's the false one. My
Now,
true
what's
being
it?
was born.
Present the negative formulation of that same point.
My true being is born.
What's the absolutely? Is there a tendency for the human condition in the Prakriti and the natural world to make the mistake of saying, my true being, there was a time when I was not born.
Absolutely.
And then I'm hung up in the natural world,
Yeah.
hung up in cause and effect. I'm hung up in human invention. I'm hung up in the gunas. I'm hung up in the varnas, or if you will, the castes. I'm hung up in the natural world of the city, which has servants, working class, priestly class, and warrior class. What does that meditation reveal about what Krishna is arguing for us?
Yeah. I'm not all that other stuff I get stuck to. My true self is not that warrior that Arjuna is struggling with, is not me being right or wrong, is not connected to any of my thoughts.
What is my true self?
My true self is changeless.
Cece, could you read us the next paragraph, please?
Yes. Number 3, page 118. Krishna continues. Results do not cling to me. Those who know this truth live in freedom. The wise understand that there is action in the midst of inaction, and that there is inaction in the midst of action. A person is wise when she is free from anxiety regarding results. A person is wise when she does every action with complete awareness. The wise are unaffected by the results of action. Even while acting, the wise are firmly controlled by their self, big S self, and are unaffected by any results of physical action, either pleasant or unpleasant.
Nice and slowly read. Is there a tightness of language in this paragraph? What do you think, Cece?
What do you mean by a tightness of language?
That if I don't read it slowly, I'm going to miss the point.
Yes.
Read it again to us, nice and slow as you did before, and then let's see if we can loosen up the tightness of language and understand the heart of paragraph 3. Cece, go ahead. Krishna continues.
Results do not cling to me. Those who know this truth live in freedom. The wise understand that there is action in the midst of inaction, and that there is inaction in the midst of action. A person is wise when she is free from anxiety regarding results. A person is wise when she does every action with complete awareness. The wise are unaffected by the results of action. Even while acting, the wise are firm of self by their and are unaffected by any results of physical action, either pleasant or unpleasant.
Nice. Now go up to the end of the third line from the end, where it says, the wise are unaffected. Read that sentence, please.
The wise are unaffected by the results of action.
Now, negate that sentence.
The wise are affected by the results of action.
Exactly. What's the trouble if I'm affected by the results of action? Anyone? What's Krishna getting at here? What's the trouble when I am affected by the results of action?
You're not operating from a selfless perspective. You're operating from selfish, results driven motivation.
Hey, put your eyes on paragraph 3 and find another sentence. Anyone? Which line is it in paragraph 3?
Just, I am wise when I act with awareness. A person is wise when she does every action with complete awareness.
Janae, could you read paragraph 4? Krishna continues, and you can see that the way I've summarized this chapter shows that it is entirely in the words of Krishna, with the exception of the first point where Arjuna has a question. But read paragraph 4. Krishna continues.
Krishna continues, the wise live in freedom. They are beyond all the dualities of natural life. They compete with no one. They are alike in success or failure. Their minds are fixed in higher knowledge. The wise offer 5 sorts of offering. First, they offer material offerings to the gods. Second, they offer selfless service. Third, some renounce all pleasures of the senses. Fourth, some offer the fire of the senses. Fifth, others offer the workings of the senses through the fire of self-control.
Now, our quest is going to be to select one of those 5, see how it connects or does not connect between sacred knowledge and sacred action. Janae, read any one of the sentences in paragraph 4.
Hmm. They are alike in success or failure. The wise are alike in success or failure.
Negate that sentence.
Um, the wise are unalike in success or failure.
What's the trouble if I'm affected by success or failure, according to Krishna?
Um, it's your motivation. Again, it's all about look at me and what I'm doing, as opposed to um, uh, moving through life in a selfless manner.
Now, Cece, what's the first offering that the wise present?
Material goods, physical things.
And is that legitimate, perhaps in an ashram or in an ongoing yoga class? We present a
Yes.
prayer or breathing or a book or money for that matter, or an acknowledgement or a thanks. Cece,
Yes.
what's the second offering?
Selfless service.
And what result am I looking for when I engage in selfless service?
The doing and the serving for others.
That's right. So, what happens to my Western compulsion for results when I engage in this yoga skill?
I think that you can release the desire for results and expand on the good. That light spreads, more light.
Now, what does it look like for the third offering? Some aficionados renounce all pleasures of the senses. How am I going to do that? It's a continuous effort, project, goal, result that I systematically notice my smelling skills, I
Yeah.
give them up. My tasting skills, I give them up. My viewing or seeing skills, I give them up. My feeling skills, I give them up. And I go inward with all my hearing skills. Cece, read again number 4. What's the fourth offering?
The fire of the senses. I do not know what that means.
Nor do I. What would Krishna mean by offering the fire of the senses? The fire of the senses burns up my
Yeah.
compulsion to be goal oriented. So what is the effect of this offering? The fire of the senses.
I guess renounce versus fire. One seems stronger.
And Janae, could you read the fifth offering?
Others offer the workings of the senses through the fire of self-control.
And the principle of fire or burning or tapas or the presence of pain gives me an opportunity to understand the way to delete, get rid of, omit sensory impressions. one can do a little exercise by reviewing the senses. As I lie on my back, I look upwards and see the light bulb on the ceiling. But then I close my eyes. Practice that. I close my eyes. I'm seated or lying down or standing up or walking, and I close my eyes. Before, I was working with two eyes and I was triangulating. But now I don't need the two eyes anymore. I shut my eyes, maybe with the eye pillow, with the yoga eye pillow. And am I eliminating the triangulation of my two eyes with the object? Have I eliminated that?
Yes.
I might eliminate the hearing. I can open my ears. I don't have a natural opening skill for my ears, but I can concentrate on my two ears and notice the sounds in the world. For example, construction work, a flying aircraft above my house. But I'm using two ears. The point is, I can eliminate the distraction. I can eliminate the distraction of any of the senses. Is that what I normally do, or in the natural world, do I eliminate the distraction of most of the senses, or do I strive for the distraction of most of the senses? What's my natural human condition?
Naturally, we strive for the senses and to have those experiences.
And how can I eliminate that or take a pathway to eliminating it? By
You can,
concentrating
yeah,
on the object, by sticking to the object, by going inward, pratyahara, withdrawal of the senses until I'm no longer affected by the senses. Okay, name any one of the five senses.
Taste.
When I'm eating a nice dinner, do I concentrate on the various tastes, salt, bitter, sweet? Do I concentrate on them?
Probably.
And am I allowing myself the trap of the project for the good cook is to change my my taste receivers, so that perhaps I eliminate one aftertaste, maybe with water or maybe with a sip of wine or whatever. But can I reverse that process? That's the question. Is Krishna inviting me to reverse the process of enhancing the senses? Is Krishna inviting me to reverse the process of enhancing the senses?
Yeah, I think he's encouraging you to not get connected to what you think are the results of your senses and then like it or not like it. And then choose something because of that like or dislike.
Sorry, I interrupted.
And then try to choose something because of that like or dislike, or try to move away from something because you don't like it or
And
crave more. Yeah.
how important is it, according to this yoga skill, to eliminate the tendency toward
Yeah, it's essential. It's essential to disconnect from, oh, I like chocolate, so I'm only going to eat chocolate. And I don't like Brussels sprouts, so I'm not going to eat Brussels sprouts. Right?
hey, Cece, read paragraph 5. Krishna continues with additional offerings.
Krishna continues with additional offerings. Some offer wealth, some offer sense restraint and suffering. Some offer knowledge and study of the scriptures. Some offer meditation. Others offer regulation of inhalation and exhalation. Others offer restraint of the senses. All these understand the meaning of service and are cleansed of their impurities. All by means of service reach the eternal Brahman. This leads to liberation. The offering of wisdom is better than material offering. The goal of work is spiritual wisdom. The wise approach those who have realized the purpose of life and question them regarding devotion. They will instruct you in their wisdom. Krishna says, "You will see all creatures in the self, and you will see all in me."
A helpful read of paragraph 5. Now, Cece, put your eyes on paragraph 5, and by intention or randomness, doesn't matter, select one sentence and read it a couple times so that we can use it as the heart of the paragraph. Anything from paragraph 5.
The goal of work is spiritual wisdom.
The goal of work is spiritual wisdom. Say that another way.
Spiritual wisdom is the result of work.
Janae, could you read paragraph 6? Krishna concludes.
Krishna concludes, you can cross all rivers of error on the raft of spiritual wisdom. As the heat of fire reduced all wood to ashes, so the fire of spiritual knowledge burns all karmas to ashes. The path of yoga leads to the self within. Those whose wisdom is their highest goal and train their senses attain wisdom and enter perfect peace. The indecisive and those lacking in faith waste their lives. Those established in the self have renounced selfish attachments. Arjuna, cut through the doubt in your own heart with the sword of spiritual wisdom.
Nice. There's a couple of helpful metaphors or similitudes in that paragraph. Tell us one of them.
As the heat of fire reduced all wood to ashes, so the fire of spiritual knowledge burns all karmas to ashes.
Excellent. Now, push the linguistic structure of that statement. As, push the word as, and then what's its partner word in an analogy?
So.
That's right. So read it again and exaggerate the as and the so.
As the heat of fire reduced all wood to ashes, so the fire of spiritual knowledge burns all karmas to ashes.
And read the last sentence of the paragraph, please.
Arjuna, cut through the doubt in your own heart with the sword of spiritual wisdom.
And what's the picture in that command?
Well, he's um, trying to make it relevant, I think, to Arjuna by using words that uh, have to do with battle and being a soldier. Cut through the doubt and sword of spiritual wisdom. It gives Arjuna kind of, I think, a better picture than some of the other
Right.
direction or
So how does
Krishna's
that
given us.
circle around and connect with the very first picture of the Gita? Anyone, what's the very first picture of the Gita?
Arjuna on the battlefield.
Yeah, the battle.
And how, absolutely, and how does this new paragraph, this new analogy pick up on Krishna's mistake, Arjuna's mistake of validating the military and make sure that it's a spiritual exercise? How does that happen in this analogy?
That Arjuna can use his knowledge and his strength as a soldier uh, to come to these same results with spiritual wisdom.
So does that, right, does that validate the military imagery or deny the military imagery?
I think it validates it. It makes it relevant to Arjuna.
And what's the good, how good of writing is this for the author to bring in Arjuna's profession from the beginning of the Gita?
I think it starts to draw it all together. It's like putting on a tying a knot in a bracelet. It starts to just draw it all together. All of this is relevant.
For me, the slower I read some of these paragraphs, the more clear, the brighter, the more descriptive, the more appropriate they become. I think we're ready for a glance at the whole chapter, or put it another way, at my summary into 6 chapters. You can see that the 6 paragraphs are nothing more than summarizing each page successively. The title of the chapter is Sacred Knowledge and Action. Is there a connection between sacred knowledge and action, or are they separated? We'll start our meditation time now and relax into the opportunity for meditation. After a few counts, go back to my notes, select one picture, and for example, breathing in and breathing out, or the fire, or offering money, or offering effort, or offering renunciation, or noticing the importance of pain and how the natural world invites me to avoid pain, how the yoga world invites me to notice pain and take advantage of it. So find a nice, comfortable seat. The idea is to see if there is some non-action in action, there is some action in non-action. Is there a separation between knowledge and action? Or is there a continuity between knowledge and action? How important is it to renounce all needs for preference or results? Wings out, inhale, lean back. Wings together, exhale, lean forward. Couple more at your own speed. Wings out, inhale, retain. Wings in, exhale, retain. Om 10, Om 9, Om 8, Om 7, Om 6, Om 5, Om 4, Om 3, Om 2, Om. Please sing after me. Om. Om. Om.
Hi, Zena. Hi, little baby. Want to go for a walk? Come on. Come on. Come on, sweetheart. Come on. Hi, baby.
Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6, Om 7, Om 8, Om 9, Om 10, Om. Please sing after me. Om.
Om,
Om.
Om,
Om.
Om.
This meditation has taught me to redouble my efforts in inhalation and exhalation, and also the retention, so that without seeking any results, I can make the connection between spiritual wisdom and action. I can make the connection between there is a little bit of spiritual wisdom in action, there's a little bit of action in spiritual wisdom. Who else has a revelation from this time together?
I have a thought. I'm in the car, so I hope you guys can hear me.
Yeah.
My thought was that wisdom is who we are, like the unborn part, the spiritual and the eternal, the big S self. And that when he was saying he is unborn, he was essentially saying that he remembers who he is, he knows who he is, and that action is what we do, the physical, the little S self, and that the goal or the work is to bring the two into oneness. But what Bobby just said, that was good too, to remember that, because my mind separates them, but it's more like a yin and yang kind of thing, that there's a little bit of both in each each of them.
So kind of what thank you, Cece and Dad. Kind of what I was thinking of was to use my brain for wisdom and knowledge and truth, and to use my body for service and to act with awareness. And then with all of that, to live free is to not define that as success or failure with any results that happen in or out of that. That's where I was.
I got nothing. I just have this stuffed up head. But I just did kind of reread a couple of times on page 119, verse 22. They live in freedom who have gone beyond the dualities of life. Competing with no one, they are alike in success and failure and content with whatever comes to them. They are free without selfish attachments. Their minds are fixed in knowledge. They perform all work in the spirit of service, and their karma is dissolved. Yeah, I just read that over and over a few times. And then, based on what you all are saying too, is that it doesn't have to be overwhelming, right? You can come to this idea or this feeling of selfless service without living on a mountaintop. You can do it with your breath. You can do it in your work, doing a good job with whatever your work might be without, wanting to take the kind of the full glory for it, kind of spreading the glory among your team and the people who helped you. So there are kind of simple ways in your life. It's not necessarily going to get your karma burned off, but it's a step in the right direction. So yeah, that's kind of where my my stuffed up head went.
I appreciate that you guys shared about that, the unattachment to it, that selfless service, and that you're not attached to the outcome. I did forget about that during my reflection, and that is such a key part of it, that we're not attached to that part. So thank you for sharing.
Rama Bolo, Rama Bolo, 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 Ram, Rama Bolo, Rama Bolo, 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 Ram, Rama Bolo, Rama Bolo, 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 Ram, Rama Bolo, Rama Bolo, 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 Ram. Please sing after me. Om.
Um,
Om.
um,
Om.
um.
My thanks to each and every one. Let's take a look at chapter 5 next time. That'll be the 21st of February. And everyone have a great Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah, heart.
Will you be my Valentine?
Sure.
Happy Valentine's Day, you guys.
Happy Valentine's Day. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll turn off the
Thank you
recording.
guys.
Big love.
Thanks, everyone.